Hello everyone, here I am back with the beginnings of my gay fiction, and this time it's the turn for Tommy's Blind Date, which has a fantastic cover. I really like those ducks, and it's a friends to lovers romance with a spicy twist. Here's the beginning. "That's it," I said, flinging myself down onto the office sofa and stretching my length out over it, which, as there's 6'2" of my sheer lankiness, meant my feet were dangling off the end. "That's really it. I swear to you, Jacob, I'm through with blind dates. It's a blood sport and they never end prettily, do they?" Jacob didn't answer, not at first. He merely gazed at me over the top of his reading glasses, smoothed down a page of his latest script and tutted. In spite of being an actor, my best friend since school days was the calmest man I knew and had never let anything muddy his waters, or at least not for long. He often used my office for learning lines, as he said it helped him concentrate. I didn't mind, as he never interfered with my consultancy work. Anyway, I was really glad he was here now. What happened last night then? I gather from your supine position on the sofa and general air of malaise that it wasn't a great success. I snorted. Even for Jacob, this was underplaying it somewhat. So I made myself more comfortable and proceeded to tell him about my disastrous date. Not that it was entirely the other bloke's fault. I don't pretend I'm any great catch, but I'd made my best effort to look presentable, had worn my neatest casual trousers and a deep blue shirt which I hoped brought out the colour of my eyes. Heck, I'd even smoothed down my hair with gel I found buried in the back of the bathroom cabinet, in the hope my unruly locks wouldn't spring up and frighten anyone like they usually did. Not sure why I bothered. Because when Hector, yes, this was his name, turned up outside the Dog and Duck 20 minutes later than anticipated, he was already half cut and wearing a pair of jeans that must have been in their prime in the Falklands War, and a t-shirt that looked as if it had been worn already this week by several different people, possibly all at the same time. On top of it all, he was surely at least 10 years younger than I am, and I was only 32. It wasn't how he'd been described to me by the contact who'd set us up, and I made a mental note to drop said contact from the Christmas list just as soon as I started to make one. Hector's first words failed to endear him to me either. Hope that was enjoyed the read, the beginning of Tommy's Blind Date, and have a great day. Bye.